96 disconnected from your channel. KMA TV from the server.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another live broadcast brought to you by KMA TV. I am Scott Kolovic. Going to be keeping you company up here in the booth tonight. Going to be bringing you a lot of great camera action out here tonight. Going to be a great race out here tonight. We are sitting out here for a very special event, sitting out here at Auto Club, Fontana. Always a great track to be racing at. Great temperatures out here, 65 degrees on that track. We got a track length of 2 miles solid. Going to be some great drivers out here. But most importantly tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we are here for a very special cause. Tonight, we are trying to raise some awareness for autism. This is the Auto Club 101 Autism Awareness, proudly brought to you by Ted Emenheiser and Gearhead Paint Shop. So a big shout out there to Gearhead. We're going to be seeing some great paint jobs out here tonight in the Autism Awareness Race. We're going to be talking to a lot of drivers out here. Now, right off the bat, autism, always unique, totally interesting, sometimes mysterious. Now, autism, ladies and gentlemen, comes in a lot of different forms. So we're going to talk to two drivers in particular tonight. Kerry Cleaver is out here tonight, and he is going to be talking about his son, Tyler. And we're also going to be talking to one of our favorite drivers, Travis Browder. And we're going to be seeing some awesome looking paint jobs out here tonight. Joel Guy is dressed up for the autism race, as well as Edward Bray, Donald Stewart, Ted Emenheiser. Got to be one of the best looking trucks out here on that track tonight. Lot of support coming out here for the autism awareness. Hey, big shout out there to the fans as well. Hope to see Becky and Martha out there. Hope to see the ladies out there tonight. Big shout out to all the fans out there. Also, big shout out to our sponsors. Big shout out there to Greg McClendon and Blaze helping us out on Friday nights. Also, big shout out there to Richie B. Now, Richie B's out here on this track tonight. Always good to see Richard Brose. And a big shout out there to Pro Automotive and Jason Russo. Last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, remember PAD, People Against Distracted Driving. Check out our monthly broadcast of the PAD race the first Sunday of every month in association with Max Mount. Max Mount doing their best to give you hands-free communication up there, keeping the phone up and out of your hands. So a big shout out there to Max Mount. Drivers are beginning to round out their qualifying runs. Now here at Auto Club, this is just about a speedway, not quite like Daytona, not quite like Talladega, but nonetheless, it is a speedway, and these drivers are going to be flat-footing it around this 2.0-mile speedway tonight. Topping speeds upwards of 189 to 192 miles per hour. So qualifying, it is a little critical out here. We are hoping for some green flag pit stops. We are looking at a pit fuel window right at about 34 laps. Drivers are finishing up their qualifying times, and those qualifying times are beginning to come in. Looking like right now the qualifying order is Donald Stewart, but not so sure that time is going to stand. Drivers are lining up, and times are in. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that time by Donald Stewart will stand indeed. Donald Stewart out there in that number one position with a very good qualifying time. Looks like Joel Guy will be out there in second position. Kerry Cleaver back in third. Edward Bray sitting in fourth. Travis Browder pulling down fifth place. Ronald Klein, sixth. Garrett Potts back there in seventh place, side by side with Chris Hogue. Vernon Margheim in position 9, and Dave Acacia rounding out our top 10. Richard Brose sitting back there in 11th position. Kevin Scott Nelson. Ted Emmenheiser joining us near the rear. Lee Ryerson, Gary Whitmer Jr., Michael Johnson, and Steve Deuce. Now, we do have a bit of a small field out here tonight, ladies and gentlemen, due to it being the Easter weekend, but that is okay. Oftentimes, huge fields, not quite the place to be. Drivers will be rolling out of pit row momentarily. A lot of drivers out here tonight supporting the Autism Awareness Race. Big shout out to all of the painters out there working hard out here tonight, showing their support for autism. Right off the bat, one of those drivers. How about it, Ted Emmenheiser? Have you got a copy, sir?
Yes, you do, Skirt.
Alrighty, we are getting ready to get out to some great races tonight. Talk to me real quick about how autism has affected your life.
About 4 years ago, I got with a girl that one of her kids has Asperger's, and so I've been dealing with that for 4 years and didn't realize how bad it was, and you know how much special need it needed. So it's definitely been a challenge for him, and but he does good. We do good with it, and I'm just anything put to awareness out there for autism is a great thing to do. No matter what you do, bicycle and walking, whatever it could be.
Alrighty, I also want to give a big shout out there to Gearhead Paint Shop. Got a couple of other trucks out here tonight. We're going to look at Travis Browder being one of them. But good luck for you tonight, and thank you so much for putting on the Autism Awareness tonight at Auto Club.
Thanks, Scott, and thanks for putting on the show. You do a great job.
Yep, good luck to you, sir.
Thank you.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are getting ready to go. Green flag racing. Travis Browder out there on the front. Travis Browder looking very sharp in his autism truck. Pace car is in, and away we go for 101 laps out here at Auto Club. Drivers off to a very great start tonight. Stay in single file. Travis Browder out there in front. Will Ted lose that position to the number 48 of Steve Deuce. Steve Dutes out there in front of Travis. Drivers will need to show a lot of patience out here tonight getting around this track. They will be utilizing every inch of this track, watching number 48 down low, back up high. A little bit of a block move there on Travis Browder. Number 69, Gary Cleaver, side by side with Edward Bray. Number 64, Lee Staples in tow. Lee Staples and Edward Bray running. With Black Talon Racing, a sub-team of KMA Racing. Edward Bray showing his support for autism awareness side by side with the number 69 of Kerry Cleaver. Browder up in front, sided, losing a position there to the number 48 of Steve Dutes. Having some issues with our electronic department up here, not wanting to give us some current updates. I'm getting that reset as we are watching Steve Dutes and the number 2 putting on a good show up here. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, back up in business with the stats. I apologize for that technical error. You gotta lose some computers. Alright, now we are getting ready to go. Steve Dutes out there in front with the number 2 up of Dustin Markham. Travis Browder sitting in 3rd position. The number 76 of Ronald Klein, another sharp-looking truck out there being driven by Ronald Klein. Ronald Klein with RK Motorsports getting his paintbrushes wet, supporting autism awareness, and KMA TV logo on the side of Ronald Klein in the number 76. Now, Ronald Klein has got a partner out here tonight with RTK Motorsports, and that would be the number 61 of Brad Ream. Brad Ream sporting autism awareness went along with KMA TV. Sharp-looking KMA TV right there by Brad Ream. Let's take a spin around the number 61. RTK Motorsports being driven by the number 61 of Brad Ream. Supporting KMA TV, KMA Racing, and Autism Awareness. Taking a look back at one of my favorite drivers out here, the number 5 of Gary Whitmer. Gary Whitmer showing support for the Autism Awareness, GW Graphics, and KMA TV. I do believe this is another RTK RK Paints and Designs. There it is, right there on the side, just below that number 5. So big shout out there to Ronald Klein. Ronald Klein with RK Paints and Designs, making 3 drivers out here look very sharp. But I do want to go up and take a look at the star of the show tonight, and that would be Travis Browder. Now, we did have an autism awareness race just a few months back, and Travis came out of his shell. We spent some time with Travis, getting to know Travis, and Travis does have autism. But I tell you what, Travis Browder, one of the finest racers I have ever met within iRacing. Almost always often there with a top 5 position. Big shout out there to GW Graphics with that sharp logo there, right in front of the left rear tire. So big shout out there to Gearhead Paint Shop, keeping Travis Browder looking sharp. We are on lap 7 of 101. Off to a very good start out here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Big shout out there to Becky Whitmer. Dustin Markham sitting in second place, driving the Playboy. Looking a little wiggly out here. Going to lose some time right there. Number 2 of Dustin Markham getting into trouble on lap 8. Well, he started up here in 3rd position. Right now he has fallen back to position 7. Hot on his heels is the number 64 of Lee Staples. Lee Staples moving up 2 spots. Started out 10th, running a fast lap of a 39.719 going underneath. Number 2 of Dustin Markham. Edward Bray, position 10th, racing hard with the number 69 of Kerry Cleaver. Coming underneath the number 69 of Kerry Cleaver. Edward Bray looking very sharp out here tonight. Patience is everything out here tonight at Auto Club. Not an incredibly large amount of draft to speak of. You'll get a little bit up there on that back stretch, but for the most part, it is really you against the track. Driver versus track. And oftentimes, ladies and gentlemen, you can be your own worst enemy. Taking a look through the windshield of Ted Emenheiser, currently in 6th place. Looking at the rear end of the number 78 of Donald Stewart. Donald Stewart showing his support out here tonight for Autism. Really love how the guys come together, ladies and gentlemen. Last night we had a great race out there for suicide awareness. Tonight for Autism. I always like to do these special events. It gives us all a chance to learn about one another, learn about some great causes out there. Donald Stewart currently in 5th position. Looking at the rear end of Vernon Markheim. Vernon Markheim trying to get up there to the rear end of Ronald Klein. But already there's a lot of separation out here. Get out there to Travis, looking at it through the eyes of what Travis sees. Now look at how Travis is up there and all over that track. He's up here to the high side. He's going to drop it down there to the low side. He can go below that white line. That white line there, that is in bounds. And going down the backstretch here, we can actually see you can fit possibly 6 of these Chevy Silverados and Toyota Tundras across this track. There's just so much room out here to get the job done. Looking at it from the blimp view, they look like miniature little trucks out here. Plenty of room to get her done. We are caution free on lap 12. 0 lead changes out here tonight. 0 cautions. Steve Dukes, Travis Browder sitting in positions 1 and 2. Ronald Klein sitting in 3rd. Vernon Markheim, Ted Emenheiser 4th and 5th. Tight racing there with Donald Stewart. Donald Stewart racing against the number 3 of Ted Emenheiser. Ted Emenheiser going underneath up to the rear end of Vernon Markheim. What a great shot of those trucks right there, ladies and gentlemen. Drivers out here showing their support for autism awareness. Big shout out there to the drivers and the painters. 2 autism trucks right there going at it, showing their support. Donald Stewart and Ted Emenheiser. Nice shot up at the rear end of the number 78 of Donald Stewart. New fan out there on the KMA TV chat, Lisa, rooting on Uncle G. Alright, well, Lisa, tell me who Uncle G is. We've got a couple of G's out here tonight. I'm pretty sure it could be Joel Guy. It could be Gary Whitmer. I don't think Garrett Potts is old enough to have any nieces quite yet. Let me know who Uncle G is out there on that KMA TV chat. Travis Router still trying to work his way up to the rear end of Steve Dukes. Travis Router opting for more of a low line. He is right there on his tail, ladies and gentlemen, and it appears he's actually beginning to gain ground. Those distance numbers are very small. This is lap 16 of 101. Travis Browder, I know he's wanting to get set up for a run, but Travis Browder, he does know when to be patient. He knows when to hold him, and he knows when to fold him. Jumping back to Ronald Klein and Vernon Markheim. Vernon Markheim trying to work his way around the RTK Motorsports of Ronald Klein. Again, the difference of opinion in those lines. Vernon Markheim not liking the arc as much as the number 76 of Ronald Klein. Drivers need to be very aware of their tire wear out here, though. Donald Stewart, certainly doing a great job out here tonight, holding very solid in 5th place. John Pansula out here tonight representing Max Mountain. We had talked about Pad earlier. Big shout out there to John representing Max Mount. Max Mount in association with Pad. People Against Distracted Driving. Well, if you listen real carefully, ladies and gentlemen, you will hear these drivers backing it out as they do get in and out of these corners. These Chevy Silverados and Toyota Tundras, extremely powerful machines. We can hear how John Pansula is goosing that throttle. He is working that throttle, trying to get up to the rear end of Ted Immenheiser. Checking in with Gary Whitmer. And that is Uncle G. Take a look at Gary Whitmer. Always hoping that Gary Whitmer brings her home. Has got a couple of wins in here with KMA. He was up there showing his support for Pad over the weekend. So a big shout out there to Gary Whitmer with GW Graphics. All those great commercials that we do see at the beginning of the KMA TV broadcast for the special events are done by Gary Whitmer and GW Graphics. Gary Whitmer showing support for Autism Awareness paint job brought to you by RK Paints and Designs. Drivers have spaced out rather nicely. Almost a surefire guarantee for some green flag pit stops. Jumping back here, a little bit of three-wide action going on with Kerry Cleaver. Kerry Cleaver actually looking like he might be in a little bit of trouble. Seems to be a little bit off that pace. Jump down there to see if we've got any damage on the number 69. Don't believe we do. Possibly just a tire wear issue. Looking at the number 224 of Kevin Scott Nelson getting a run on the number 69 of Kerry Cleaver. Kerry Cleaver out here showing his support for Maximum Velocity Racing. Looking very sharp out here. Very vivid colors as the Michigan man, Kevin Scott Nelson, does come around. Kevin Scott Nelson out here showing his support for the University of Michigan. Lee Ryerson in the number 15 is currently sitting in position 13, showing his support for Pad in the Angels Never Die. Side by side with the number 40 of Garrett Potts in the back the blue. Two more great causes out there, ladies and gentlemen. Backing the blue and Pad. Angels Never Die side by side racing with the number 40 and the number 15 of Lee Ryerson. Edward Bray side by side, taking that inside run. Number 15 all over the rear end of the number 40. 0 lead changes, 0 cautions out here tonight. Steve Dukes leading every lap out here tonight. Steve Dukes large and in charge. Side-by-side action there with Lee Ryerson. Lee Ryerson running the inside lane will overtake the number 40. Back the blue, possibly, saying, I think I can, I think I can. Back in the blue, pulling back, and Lee Ryerson will take that position. Checking back here in the back, checking out the number 27 of Harry Dodd. Harry Dodd started 16th, falling 2 positions to position 18. Dustin Markham currently in 19th position, 1 lap down. Edward Bray, position 20, looking very sharp out there in his Autism. Chevy Silverado. And Chris Hogue in the number 6 tonight. I want to take a very close-up shot of this truck right here, ladies and gentlemen. This truck brought to you by Gearhead Paint Shop, and that is the official KMA TV truck. I want to give a big shout out there to Ted Emmenheiser tonight. Gearhead Paint Shop. Loving the number 6 being driven by KMA TV. Loving those flames coming out every time those drivers do lift off that throttle. A little bit of flame throwback. Looks pretty cool. Sounds pretty cool. Chris Hope looking pretty cool right now, currently in 21st position. Checking up with our race leader, Stephen Travis, still getting it on up here on lap 26 of 100. Ronald Klein sitting in 3rd position. Donald Stewart, very solid 4th position. And Vernon Markheim in a 5th position. Well, I'll tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, I do wish everybody did have a happy Easter today. Very special day today with Easter. Very special night tonight for these drivers showing their support for autism. Tomorrow night we are in the next to the last race of our Monday Night Mania series. I do believe we're going to be back here at Auto Club, driving in the Xfinity class. Big shout out there to Dre Broadcasting. Happy Easter to you, my friend. Looking at the number 76, we got pit row action. Number 76 going into pit row along with Donald Stewart. Ronald Klein into pit row along with Donald Stewart. Lap 28, those green flag pit stops will begin. Tires going to be everything. Loving the blue out here on these wheels. Loving the teddy bear. Number 76, Ronald Klein with RK Paints and Designs, looking very sharp. Getting into that camera, riding shotgun with Ronald Klein as he does get up through those gears up to 130 miles per hour, 127, 128, 149, speeding her up. One more gear shift. And Ronald Klein with a green flag pit stop. Loving those green flag pit stops. Now, if my calculations are correct, that'll mean that Travis Browder and Steve Dukes should be merging on into pit row, I would say within the next 5 or 6 laps. Steve Dukes leading every lap out here tonight. Certainly do hope Travis Browder does a very good job tonight. Tonight is about Travis. It is also about Kerry Cleaver and his son Tyler, Ted Emmenheiser, his family. A lot of people out there, ladies and gentlemen, do have autism in their life. Educate. Steve Beach, Travis Browder out in front. Vernon Markheim, third position, quite a while. John Peninsula out here representing Max Mount. Not a whole lot of position changing going on up here. In fact, we've had 0 lead changes out here tonight. Checking in on Richard Brose. Richard Brose sitting back in 5th place, starting 17th, looking very sharp out there in the number 87, Richie B. Silverado. Kevin Scott Nelson, number 224, into pit row. Kevin Scott Nelson out here tonight representing the University of Michigan. Get a little glimpse of that driver's suit. I do believe he is sporting out the colors of Autism. University of Michigan, number 224, on his way out of pit road. Vernon Markheim, our current race leader. Vernon Markheim into pit row. Grab hold of it, brother. Grab hold of it. Crosses that line right at 55 miles per hour. Vernon Markheim qualified 5th. Now, when you qualify 5th, ladies and gentlemen, it is a long way down pit row. Staying in-car camera here with Vernon Markheim. Here at KMATV, we want to get you as close to the action as we can. Right now, we've got you into that shotgun position. Good pit stop. Very good entry there by Vernon Markheim, taking right sides, filling the tilt. Taking those left side tires as well. Riding along with Vernon Markheim out of pit row on lap 33. That will put Travis Browder out there in that P1 position. Taking a look at our current running order. Travis Browder, P1. Steve Deutsch, P2. Dustin Markham sitting in P3. Ronald Klein, position 4. And Donald Stewart rounding out our top 5. Lee Staples sitting in 6th position. Vernon Markheim in 7th. Edward Bray in 8th. And Brad Ream pulling up in 9th position. Gary Whitmer with a solid top 10. A lot of separation out there between Travis Browder and Steve Deutsch. We've had 2 lead changes. Those lead changes consisting between Steve Deutsch leading 31, Vernon Markheim leading 2, and Travis Browder leading 1. A little bit more exciting action here with Lee Staples and Ronald Klein. Ronald Klein looking very sharp out there. Lee Staples representing Black Talon Racing. Great looking truck right there, brought to you by Lee Staples. Lee Staples currently in 4th position. David Acacia and the number 20 DeWalt currently in 12th position. Started out 15th on his way forward. Ted Ebenheiser currently in 13th. Started out in 6th. Ted Ebenheiser, the host with the most tonight. Big shout out there to Ted for putting on the show tonight in his support of autism and Asperger's syndrome. Now looking at the track, folks, we've got those black lines out there. And that is exactly what I was talking about how wide we can do here at Auto Club. We can go 5 wide, you can actually go 6 wide. But these drivers, they're just out here tonight doing a great job. Pretty much single file racing. Pretty sure that we've got a very high chance of going caution free tonight here at Auto Club. Lee Ryerson coming up on 2. Vernon Markheim. Lee Ryerson is 1 lap down. Gary Whitmer in position 9, racing along with Max Mounts John Pansula. Gary Whitmer showing his support out here tonight for Autism. John Pansula showing his support for Max Mount in association with PAD. Gary Whitmer doing a great job tonight, keeping care of those tires here on lap 38. Green flag action all the way tonight in the Autism Awareness. Always unique, totally interesting, sometimes mysterious. If you have a little bit of time after the broadcast tonight, ladies and gentlemen, or tomorrow on your lunch hour, do a little bit of search for autism, educate yourself, find out some information. It is oftentimes misunderstood, but the education is the key, folks. Travis Browder, he is autistic and one of our best drivers out here, and just an all-around great guy. Travis Browder himself has taught me a little bit about autism. And he is looking sharp out here tonight, leading his 7th lap. Great looking paint job there, brought to you by Gearhead Paint Shop and Ted Emenheiser. Steve Dukes still trying to track down the number 18 of Travis Browder. Donald Stewart in a very solid 3rd position. Lee Staples has moved up into position 4. But he is still watching the number 76 of Ronald Klein very closely in his mirrors. Ryan Klein giving some good showing tonight. Big shout out to Ronald Klein. Brad Ream currently in 8th position. Brad Ream running with RTK with the RK Paint Shop, showing his support out here for KMA-TV and Autism Awareness. And in his rearview mirror, he has got Richard Brose. Richard Brose in the number 87. 2 laps down, but Richard Brose digging down deep. Big shout out there to Richard Brose. Loose Cannon, number 87. You gotta love the paint job. Another paint job we haven't yet looked at that's pretty cool out here is the number 91 of Joel Guy. Joel Guy showing his support out here tonight for Autism. And the United States Marine Corps. Joel Guy, a Marine back in his day, looking very sharp out here tonight. Joel Guy started 22nd, currently is in 18th position, moving forward, but unfortunately 2 laps down. Checking in on Kerry Cleaver. Kerry Cleaver 1 lap down. Started 8th, currently is in 17th position, but he is still in it to win it tonight. Running with the Max V guys, Steve Dukes and Richie B on their lines of communication along with Travis Browder. Lap 44 of 100, caution free tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Taking a look at the number 40 of Garrett Potts. Garrett Potts, a newcomer to KMA Racing, doing a great job out here tonight, showing his support for back the blue. Police lives matter. And indeed, ladies and gentlemen, police lives matter. All lives matter out there. Big shout out there to Garrett Potts. And he backed the blue. Drivers have really spread out here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of distance up here with Travis and Steve. Donald Stewart, a very serious stone's throw away from that second place position. Number 76 trying to do his best to get caught up there to Lee, as Lee does come around. The number 91, Lee Staples, considerably faster than the number 91. Brad Ream, 1/4 of the way around the back of the track, one position back though. A lot of separation between Brad and Vernon. John Pansula sitting back in position 8. Gary Whitmer back in position 9. And Dave Acacia back into position 10, but still on that lead lap. Kevin Scott Nelson, position 11, and in position 12, Ted Emmenheiser. A little bit of side-by-side action going on here with Ted. Ted racing it up with Kerry Cleaver. Now the good thing, ladies and gentlemen, about this style of racing, it is going to very well possibly go caution-free. We love those caution-free races, but this is spread this race out. And I told you in the very beginning, folks, that this is going to be driver against track, not so much driver against driver. This is going to be about who can hold that line solid the longest amount of time. And right now, Travis Browder and Steve Dukes, they're up here in front, getting ready to put drivers a lap down again. Travis Browder tonight running with a fast lap time of a 39.728. Steve Dukes running with a fast lap time of a 39.694. They will be approaching the lap traffic of the number 40, John Garrett Potts. Going to jump up here into the cockpit with Travis Browder, or Steve Dukes. Steve Dukes trying to get up to the rear end of Travis Browder. Utilizing every bit of that track that he can. Looks like he had a little bit of a faster run. Watching the slower traffic of the number 40 back to blue, giving the boys the momentum and the run and the clearance down onto this inside lane. Hey, big shot out there for fair play by the number 40 of Garrett Potts, but Steve Dukes going up, trying to get a little bit of draft off the number 40, ducking her back down, still trying to get up there to Travis. Steve Dukes opting for a little bit lower exit way. Travis Browder, on the other hand, high up there into that high lane. Both drivers diving down onto that apron, but again, Steve Dukes just a little bit lower here. Well, this time Steve Dukes is going to be the high guy coming up high. Thought he was going to lose it right there. Ladies and gentlemen, both drivers down onto that white line. That is absolutely legal here at Auto Club. Steve Dukes looking like he's going to get one more run, but he just keeps on digging deeper and deeper, but just cannot quite get there up to the rear end of Travis Browder. Ronald Klein still in third position for R2K Motorsports. watching his rearview mirror as the number 78 of Donald Stewart. Opting to go down onto that inside, Donald Stewart trying to get a big run. Looking like some green flag pit stops one more time by Donald Stewart and Ronald Klein. Going to give us a chance to look at the paint job of Donald Stewart. Donald Stewart showing his support for autism awareness. Overshooting that pit stop just a little bit, taking right side tires. Left side tires as well. Big shout out there to Donald Stewart showing his support. Get a right shotgun with Donald Stewart out of pit row after some green flag pit stops. Loving the green flag pit stops, ladies and gentlemen. A little bit tricky hanging on to it, coming around that corner at 154 miles per hour, back up on track at 158, and hammer down. And away goes Donald Stewart, one lap down, currently in 11th position. Coming up pretty quick. Green flag for 54 of 101 laps. We have made it past the halfway point without a caution. 2 lead changes only, in fact. Travis Browder leading 21 laps. Steve Dukes leading 31 laps. That would just be pretty awesome if Travis Browder would win this out tonight. Hard racing right there with the number 78 and the number 76. And these two drivers, they've been at it all night long, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not sure if they've been at it or they've been with one another, but they seem to be inseparable. We have watched them cycle through 2 sets of pit stops. Looking at the number 91 of Joel Guy. Joel Guy currently in 17th position. In the number 91 Autism Awareness Chevy Silverado, showing his support for the United States Marine Corps, as well as KMA Racing, as well as Autism. Hey, big shout out there to Joel Guy. Jumping back there, checking out Richard Brose and Brad Ream. Richard Brose sitting in position 18th, started out in 17th, 2 laps down. Brad Ream is actually in position 4 tonight, running for RTK Motorsports. And it does appear that Brad Ream is going into pit row. More green flag action. I tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, I am nailing these green flag pit stops tonight. Yay for me. Go get me a cookie. Brad Ream in pit row. Green flag pit stop on lap 56. Sharp looking number 61, Autism Awareness, KMA TV. Look at the shininess on those pink rims, ladies and gentlemen. I am actually seeing sparklies. Gonna ride shotgun out of pit row with the number 61 of Brad Ream. Hearing him pop those gears, and he crosses that line at 61. Hopefully he is green flag. Oftentimes those tickets will be handed out even at 1 mile over. Up on track just a little bit early right there. He is free and clear, and Brad Ream currently in position 11th as he does watch Gary Whitmer slide on by. Gary Whitmer sitting in position 18th, started out 19th, going in the right direction. Unfortunately, though, Gary Whitmer 2 laps down, and it appears Gary Whitmer is going into pit rows. And did it again, ladies and gentlemen. I am predicting these green flag pit stops were to stay in the car this time with Gary Whitmer. So Mom Whitmer is riding shotgun here with Gary. We are on lap 58 of 101, 43 to go, 3 lane changes. Gary Whitmer, very good at what he does. What a great pit stop there by Gary Whitmer. Taking rights and taking lefts. Thinking he got a little bit of a penalty right there, Becky, because he should have been out and rolling by now. And indeed, unfortunate break there for Gary Whitmer. Having to be stopped for just a few seconds right there. Gary Whitmer starting to roll out of pit lane. Unfortunately, though, that is a 15-second stop and go for Gary Whitmer. Watching him very carefully get out of pit row. Nothing worse than a double penalty. I've done it. Gary Whitmer getting ready to merge back up onto track. But I tell you what, if you're going to get a penalty, you want to get the penalty going in rather than the penalty going out. Get a penalty going in, they just hold you down for 15 seconds. Get a penalty going out, you got to come all the way back in, stop for 15 seconds. You'll definitely will lose a lot of time. We've got a new race leader up here in front. We've got Vernon Markheim racing hard with the number 76 of Ronald Klein. Vernon Markheim out here in position 1 because I do not believe he has yet gone into pit row for that second round of green flag pit stops. We are 61 of 100 into the books. And the key word, ladies and gentlemen, is 101. This is not 100 laps. This is 101. I'm looking at Kerry Cleaver, I think, going into pit row. Nope. Kerry Cleaver just a little bit down there below. But nonetheless, Kerry Cleaver in position 18, 2 laps down, driving for maximum velocity. Vernon Markheim out here in position 1. John Pansula representing Maxmount back there in position 2. Travis Browder position 3. Steve Dukes position 4. And Lee Staples working his way up there to position 5, trying to work his way around the number 20 of Dave Acacia. Dave Acacia 2 laps down. Lee Staples out here tonight representing Black Talon Racing along with his buddy Edward Bray. Driving the LA Graphics number 64 Legacy. Staples doing a great job of working that wheel out here tonight. Still got a ways to go if he's going to get back up there with Travis and Steve Deuce. He can see them, but just cannot quite catch them. Looking at number 3rd position of Travis Browder. Nothing but absolute clean air in front. Travis Browder behind the leader by 24 seconds. That's not even them up there in the distance, folks. But we do have to keep in mind, I do believe Travis Browder is a little bit better on fuel mileage than that of Vernon Markheim. Vernon Markheim up here in position 1, 564 of 100. Vernon Markheim racing with Gary Whitmer Jr. Gary Whitmer Jr. has fallen to 4 laps down due to that recent penalty, but he is still rolling. So a big shout out there to Gary Whitmer. Kerry Cleaver, 2 laps down, still rolling. We actually only have 7 drivers up here on that lead lap, ladies and gentlemen. That 7th driver will be Ronald Klein. In 8th position, Edward Bray, 1 lap down. Brad Ream, 1 lap down in position 9. Kevin Scott Nelson, 1 lap down as well. Ronald Klein started 4th, currently in position 7, but still in a very good spot. With the fast lap of a 39.513. Getting a little bit loose right there. Saw that rear end wanting to fishtail a little bit. Tire wear is a factor. Under every green flag pit stop we have seen, drivers are getting tires. Looking at number 69 actually gaining ground up there on Ronald Klein. Kerry Cleaver possibly looking for an outside type pass. Pass it on the outside, not so easy here at Auto Club. You've got to have a big run. And Kerry Cleaver will do the duck and run back down to that inside lane. Going to be side by side with Ronald Klein, and will have the big run. Kerry Cleaver will work his way around the number 76 of Ronald Klein, but they're not really racing for a position. Ronald Klein is on that lead lap. Kerry Cleaver fighting to get 2 laps back. Travis Browder will retake that lead from Vernon Markheim. Vernon Markheim into pit row. Vernon Markheim taking those right sides. Pretty sure he's going to take those left sides. Vernon Markheim, no penalty. In and out of pit row. More green flag pit stops. Vernon Markheim, lap 67 of 101. Coming around that apron up at 152 miles per hour. Back up onto the track, merging up at 157, safe and sound. He is in position 7th, and we're going to jump forward to win spot 2, Edward Bray. Edward Bray sitting up here in position 6. Edward Bray driving the Autism Awareness. Representing Autism and KMA TV. Big shout out there to Edward Bray. Hearing Edward Bray working that throttle, hearing those engines in and out. Edward Bray looking very sharp out here tonight, being challenged by the number 30, number 33 of Vernon Markheim. Vernon Markheim working his way around Edward Bray. That will put Vernon Markheim up there to position 6th. Taking a quick look at our current running order. Travis Browder, Steve Dutz, Lee Staples, Donald Stewart, Ronald Klein, Vernon Markheim, Edward Bray, Brad Ream. John Pansula, 1 lap down. Kevin Scott Nelson, 2 laps down in position 10. Garrett Potts, Lee Ryerson, Ted Ebenheiser, Davis Casia, 2 laps down. Kerry Cleaver, Harry Dodd, Richard Brose, Joel Guy, 3 laps down. Gary Whitmer, 3 laps down as well. But still, they are rolling around this track, showing their support for Autism Awareness. Number 3 of Ted Ebenheiser looking very sharp out here tonight. Brad Ream into pit row. Loving those sparkly, shiny wheels right there. I tell you what, Brad Ream looking very sharp out here tonight, showing his support for Autism. Brad Ream with a green flag pit stop on lap 71. Brad Ream bringing some real world experience to the track tonight, doing a great job. Looking at the number 15 as he does come around. Brad Ream, number 15, being driven by Lee Ryerson. Lee Ryerson 2 laps down. Currently in 10th place, though, driving the Angels Never Die, showing his support for Pad. Big shout out there to Pad and Lee Ryerson Jr. remembering Mickey. People against distracted driving. Find more information about PAD at padb.org. Brad Ream getting back up to speed, trying to get back up to the rear end of the Angels Never Die Lee Ryerson. But currently he is in 11th position. He started out 12th and he's 2 laps down. So hoping pretty much at this point in time to just have a good finish. We've got a lead change up front. We've got Lee Staples taking that lead away from Vernon Margheim. Lee Staples clearly up here in front. Lee Staples going into pit row. Another round of green flag pit stops here in the Autism Awareness at Auto Club. 101 laps. Lap 73 of 100 in the books. Lee Staples in the lead, but Lee Staples in pit row. This will be the final round of pit stops for any drivers pitting from here on out. Lee Staples taking rights, taking lefts. No penalty. He is out of there. Gonna put you on the nose right here, like you just tucked up underneath that license plate where it would be. Gonna get you some real good sounds of that engine. This is what a fly on the grill would see, ladies and gentlemen, at 159 miles per hour. A bug on the front fender well. Take a look at that gearbox. This will be on the rear end of the car. Lap 75 of 100. Going to run around, take a look at some of the gearboxes of these cars, of these trucks. Vernon Margheim liking what he's seeing in his rear gearbox. That's absolutely nothing. Vernon Margheim up here in position 1. And Steve Dutz, his is a little bit different. Steve Dutz looking back there at the number 61 of Travis Browder and the number 15 of Lee Ryerson. Steve Dutz currently in position 2. Richard Rose still hanging in, doing a great job out here tonight. Gary Cleaver sitting at position 14. Appreciate Kerry coming out here tonight, showing his support out here for Tyler. Kerry's son Tyler is autistic. Kerry Cleaver showing his support out here along with Ted Immenheiser, Gary Whitmer, Joe Guy, Edward Bray, Donald Stewart, Brad Ream, Ronald Klein. Big shout out to all these drivers out here tonight. Look at all these bumpers out here, folks. And we're seeing a lot about autism out here tonight. Lap 78 of 101 in the books, 23 to go. 6 lead changes. Vernon Margheim leading 18 laps tonight. Steve Dutz leading 31. Travis Browder leading 28. Lee Staples leading 1. Hey, a lap is a lap, though, and I tell you what, but you know what? The only lap that really matters out here tonight is that last lap. And I do wonder, a lot of these drivers, they are accustomed to running 100 laps. I wonder if anybody is going to forget about that one extra lap out here tonight that Ted decided to throw into here, just for fun. Watching Brad Ream work that track, doing a great job. Another great driver out here, Edward Bray. Edward Bray, 1 lap down, started 9th, currently in 9th. Hey, so that's pretty darn good. 1 lap down, though. His first driver of 1 lap down, meaning if that caution does come out, which I really do not think it is, ladies and gentlemen. I think we're going to go caution-free out here tonight. So Edward Bray will have to get his lap back the hard way as Steve Dutz challenging Edward Bray. Steve Dutz is in second position. Steve Dutz coming down to that inside side by side with Edward Bray. Big run on that inside. Looks like Edward Bray is accepting that challenge. But look at Travis Browder sitting back there. Travis Browder watching all this action. Get it up there into the cockpit view, right along shotgun with Travis Browder. This is what Travis Browder has got to think about. Travis Browder needs to get around the number 48 of Steve Dutz down onto that inside lane. Edward Bray, he is racing for it, his personal position, but he is 1 lap down. He's got as much right to this track, ladies and gentlemen. Travis Browder going up with Edward Bray. Travis Browder back down, getting a big run. Going to have to let off of it. Let off of it, Travis Browder. You're eating up that Toyota Tundra of Steve Dutz. They do get around. And Travis Browder getting busy, ladies and gentlemen. Such an exciting young man, Travis Browder. I love being in the car pit here with Travis Browder. Such an experienced driver. Edward Bray, side by side with Travis Browder. We see Travis peeking out there on that inside lane. Edward Bray letting him go. Traffic coming out of pit row. That is the number 6 of Chris Hope coming out of pit row for a green flag pit stop. Edward Bray currently in 9th position. Vernon Markheim up here completely by himself. Get it up to that front camera. Going to see just how far these drivers are. And Vernon Markheim up here all by himself in that first place position. About an eighth of a track back, though, we've got Steve Dutz and Travis Browder finally getting around Edward Bray. So some tight racing here with Steve and Travis. Steve and Travis have dominated out here tonight. Been with each other all night, having their own little personal race. John Pensula on the opposite side of the track. Many truck links back, but still a very solid 4th place. We have got 8 drivers out here on this lead lap. That 8th driver is Ronald Klein. Ronald Klein looking like he's going to bring home a very solid 8th position up there too. Lee Staples, same thing for Lee. Up here free and clear for position 7. Kevin Scott Nelson sitting in 6th. Donald Stewart trying to get up there, sitting in a very solid position 5 at the moment. In his rearview mirror is Ted Immenheiser, 2 laps down. John Pansula representing Max Mountain position 4. Coming up to the rear end. Do you believe that is the number 27 of Harry Dodd? Big shout out there to Max Mount. This is lap 85 of 101, ladies and gentlemen. Caution free here at Auto Club. Caution free here with the raising awareness for autism. Always unique, totally interesting, sometimes mysterious, ladies and gentlemen. Tomorrow on your lunch hour, take a minute to do a little bit of research on autism and Asperger's. Every child is special. Every human is special. We've had 2 very special events here this weekend. The suicide awareness race last night, the autism awareness race tonight. So a big shout out to all those drivers, all the fans, all the promoters, all the painters, all the videographers, everybody coming together for a very special double-header race event. We're in Markheim sitting out here in position 1. Vernon Markheim representing GTR Sim, driving a Toyota Tundra. Looking pretty sharp out there. Red, white, and blue. Travis Browder in the autism truck, Toyota Tundra. Steve Dutz back there in the number 48. Position 3. Still getting challenged by the number 66 of Edward Bray. Edward Bray 1 lap down. Now for Edward to be on that lead lap, folks, he's got to not only get around Steve, he's got to get around Travis, and he's got to get around Vernon. Not so sure that is going to happen with 14 laps to go. But Edward Bray, nonetheless, putting on a great show tonight. Big shout out there to Edward Bray in the number 66. Behind Edward Bray, we do have Brad Ream, the number 61, 1 lap down as well. So right now, more effectively, Edward Bray and Brad Ream would be racing one another for that lucky dog position if it were to come out. And of course, that lucky dog right now would be given to the first driver 1 lap down, assuming they had no damage on that said caution. So right now, Edward Bray, for a lucky dog position, is in a most excellent spot. 1 lap down, Lee Ryerson sitting back there in 10th position. Kevin Scott Nelson sitting back there in position 11 at the 224 University of Michigan. Richard Brose still out here. Hey, big shout out there to Richie B, 2 laps down, but he's still making his way through this field. He started out in 17th and right now is in position 12. Number 91 of Joel Guy currently in 14th position, 3 laps down, showing his support for autism awareness. Drivers are totally spread out. Not really seeing any tight racing out here up from the blimp view. Auto Club has a way of spreading you out. About the tightest racing we've got out here right now is between Edward Bray and Brad Ream. We are in the closing laps of tonight's race, lap 90 of 100. Dave Acacia out here in the number 20, DeWalt, still in it. Garrett Potts with the the blue, showing his support for the police. Appreciate that. Without the police, we'd probably be in a little bit of trouble. Some people might be in a little bit less trouble without the police, but that's their situation right there. Big shout out there to Garrett Potts. Back up there to the front, Vernon Markheim. Paint designed by Over the Top Paints and Designs. Big shout out there to John Hedrick. Another great painter. Travis Browder sitting in position 2. Travis Browder currently 3.8 seconds behind Vernon Markheim with 9 laps to go. Not so sure Travis is going to be able to run down Vernon Markheim tonight. Steve Dutz trying to run Travis down, but there's still quite a bit of difference there between Steve Dutz. Steve Dutz is 5.7 seconds back off of our race leader. John Pensula 17 seconds back. Well, I'm pretty sure without that caution, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be Vernon, Travis, or Steve. And I'm thinking Vernon might have this wrapped up, signed, sealed, and delivered tonight. Vernon Markheim right now leading 32 laps. Vernon Markheim watching his rear view mirror as Kerry Cleaver, 4 laps down, does get a little bit of a run. But Kerry Cleaver at this point in time, he's not going to really give Vernon a lot of competition. It does appear Kerry Cleaver may be a little bit faster on the laps right now. He is picking up momentum there with Vernon Markheim. Very strong possibility Vernon Markheim has burned his stuff up. They might be having a little bit of tire slowdown. Lap 93 up, 101 in the books. 7 to go, 6 lead changes. Travis Browder trying very desperately, and he is beginning to pull away from Steve Dutz. Well, hopefully these drivers did do their calculations in pit row. It would be a heartbreaker to run out of fuel tonight here. We have seen some good side-by-side racing. Seen 3 wide just a couple times. We've seen a whole lot of green flag pit stops out here tonight. Seen a couple of our drivers get penalties out here tonight. Gary Whitmer Jr. unfortunately suffering a 15-second stop and go, but hey, nonetheless, big shout out there to Gary Whitmer Jr. He is our videographer here for KMA TV. So always just glad to see my drivers out here. Always glad to see the fans out here. Always glad when these drivers do pull together for a great cause. Ted Immenheiser in pit row. I do believe he might possibly be having to take it to the hauler tonight. Might be out of fuel. Nonetheless, back up to the front with Vernon Margheim. Kerry Cleaver has worked his way around Vernon Margheim. Vernon Margheim on lap 95 of 100. Travis Browder getting a little bit closer. Going to take it up to the blimp mode and see exactly how close Travis is to Steve Dukes. A little bit of a distance right there between Travis and Steve. A lot more difference up there between Travis and Vernon. Not so sure if Travis is going to be able to catch Vernon or not. But I do believe he is easily pulling away from Steve Dukes. Travis Browder representing autism awareness out here with KMA Racing. Great job brought to you by Gearhead Paint Shop. Travis Browder started first, currently is in second position. Vernon Margheim started fifth, currently is in first. And Steve Dukes started second, currently in third position. Looks like the Toyotas tonight are doing an awesome job out here. Lap 97 of 101, 4 laps to go. 6 lead changes, 0 precautions. Complete domination out here tonight done by Vernon Margheim, Travis Browder, and Steve Dukes. Steve Dukes trying his darndest to get up there to the rear end of Travis Browder, but just not quite able to match the ability and the skill level of Travis. Although now it does look like he is getting a little bit of a run. He can see him. He can smell him. But can he get to him with 3 to go? Now this is a situation that, maybe Travis has been saving tires. Maybe Steve's been saving tires. Maybe Steve's knowing something. Almost a little loosey-goosey right there by Steve. All right, Steve Dukes right now is beginning to push those barriers. It is go time. Number 61 of Brad Ream comes whipping by. Brad Ream 1 lap down. I do believe Brad Ream might be on a little bit better tires. But nonetheless, they both are catching with number 18 of Travis Browder. This is lap 100 of 101. Vernon Margheim out there in front. Travis Browder, Steve Dukes, tight racing right here. Travis Browder looking very good for a very solid second place. Steve Dukes trying everything he can to get up there. Travis Browder looking very sharp. Steve Dukes up to that high side, into the wall. Steve Dukes into the wall. That's going to slow him down. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that will call this night. Vernon Margheim will win tonight's race. Big shout out there to Vernon Margheim. Vernon Markheim doing a great job out here tonight. All right, ladies and gentlemen, hang tight. We're going to get these drivers up here for post-race interviews. How about it, Steve Dutes? Have you got a copy, sir?
Yes, I do.
All righty, talk to me about your race tonight, Steve Dutes.
Yeah, it was pretty good. We tried to play some fuel strategy. It's pretty good all the way around. Had a good job with Travis. Didn't think the 33 was going to make it on fuel, but he ended up did. Had a little scuffle with some lap cars down, but all in all, it's been a pretty good day.
All righty, copy that. Now, you led a bunch of laps out here. You led 31 laps out here tonight. You obviously know what you're doing, and you and Travis were racing each other night, just all night. You guys were just pretty much together. What was it like racing against Travis?
It was pretty good. It was like running our own little mini race with just me and Travis in the room, but it's pretty good. I really enjoyed racing with Travis. He's a hell of a racer too.
All righty, good job there, Steve.
Thank you.
All righty, how about it, Travis?
Hi, Scott. How's it going?
It's going good. You did an awesome job out here tonight, Travis Browder. Now, I do believe you started out here in first position. You got second place. Talk to me about your night.
Awesome race. Caution free, green flag pit stops. It was incredible. I took 2 tires on the last stop, and I heard Vernon ran out of gas on the coming to the checkered. If it was an extra lap, I probably would have had a shot. I would have won this thing. But hey, it was a fun night, man. It is what it is.
All right, and now very briefly, talk to me about autism.
Autism is a disease. It's a disorder. It is a disease. I appreciate all the fans watching this race tonight. That's pretty much what that is. That's pretty much it.
Alrighty, well, I tell you what, I am very, very, very proud of you. I do ask that you do me one little favor. I am seeing that Vern has got his microphone muted. Could you give him a shout out there on the track and see if we can get him to get that microphone live for us? And great job out here tonight, Travis.
Thank you, Scott. Thanks for putting this on, man. Fun race. Pictures will be posted.
Thank you, sir. All right, Vern, how you doing, sir?
We're doing pretty good there, Scott.
Alrighty, wow, you did an awesome job tonight. Hey, guess what? You win. Talk to me about your night.
Well, it was a fuel strategy. You know, we had that extra lap, really, that I was kind of concerned about. Because at that 101, we normally race that 100 lapper, and we can make it on 3 stops, but you're stretching it. And all I had to do was conserve on 2 runs, and I knew I could make that extra lap. Well, came down to the end, and I ran out of gas going into turn 4. Coast to the finish line. Couldn't believe it. The IndianaDiesel.com, GTR Simulator.com. Toyota was doing pretty good tonight. I was pretty proud of myself there.
Well, you ought to be very proud of yourself. You dominated, leading 41 laps out here. All right, any thoughts on autism?
Boy, you know, donate as much as you can. Research is always needed, that's for sure.
All righty. Great job tonight, Vernon.
Thank you.
All right, Kerry, have you got a copy, sir?
Yes, sir. I'm here.
All righty. Now, you had a little bit of tough luck out here tonight, but I wanted to make sure I got a special interview in with you, my friend. Talk to us about your situation with autism and Tyler.
Tyler's a 23-year-old adult. He's my son. We discovered he was autistic. He was probably about 6. We knew something was wrong right from the start, but back then there wasn't the awareness of it there is now, and through things like this, it's bringing more and more awareness, and that really helps.
All righty. All right, now talk to me about your race. I do see you were 3 laps down. What happened to you out there tonight?
I couldn't stay off the wall. That thing sucked me in like a magnet like 3 times, and I tried to just get my damage fixed, hoping we'd get a caution, and that put me far behind. And so by the time I used my reset and then I scraped the wall again, I just couldn't stay off of it.
All righty. Well, nonetheless, I appreciate you coming out here tonight and giving us the support that you did. Thank you so much, Kerry.
Hey, I appreciate it. I love this track. I just, for whatever reason, couldn't get it together tonight.
All right. Well, nonetheless, the support was needed and given, and thank you, sir.
Thank you. Have a good night.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to wrap it out here for the night. Appreciate you guys hanging out with us in the autism awareness. Always unique, totally interesting, sometimes mysterious. Make sure you find out more information tomorrow, later on tonight, as you're going to bed. Keep those that are close to you in your prayers and in your hearts, ladies and gentlemen. We've had an exciting weekend up here with two great causes, with the suicide awareness and the autism awareness. Join us tomorrow for race 11 of 12 back at Auto Club in the Monday Night Mania series. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I am Scott Kolovic, and we are signing out for the evening. You guys have a great night.